congratulations. Obviously, games like this, you need to spend a little more time with your team.
Questions, guys?
Joe, early in the season, when you were talking about playing time, one thing you said is you don't mind being a counselor. You know, you have your degree in counseling. Is that something that you're leaning on right now in terms of communicating with your team, spending some time and trying to figure things out? Or?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Asking, how's your team's mindset? How are you communicating with them right now at this point?
Well, communication's pretty much one way right now, and that is we have to own our game more. And I thought the first half we moved the ball, we did some things, we got shots, we missed some great open shots. We had a chance maybe there to push a lead to 6 or 8 points, some good looks. They came out and pretty efficient. We were not offensively efficient, and I thought that changed our entire psyche for our defense. That was my biggest frustration with our team right now, is that we're getting into this mode that when it doesn't work for you on the offense, we're kind of giving a little, you know, you can see it from a layman's perspective that the energy goes down when you don't make shots. And to be successful, I mean, hey, there's one thing coming here talking about the disappointment of losing at the buzzer at the end. That's different. But in my opinion, there were 3 or 4 or 5 long rebounds. There were 3 or 4 or 5 loose balls. There were 3 or 4 or 5 plays that we were disappointed that something happened. You know, we were doing this and that, and then they hit a shot, the basketball bumps in there. And we cannot have it affect us going forward. And I thought that it's like, look, our response to failure has to be much more fight to it. And you're seeing energy from a freshman. I mean, Jalen Shedd, we started Jalen tonight, and I thought he did what freshman starter. He brought energy and enthusiasm to it. So kid ends up with 9 points, 5 assists, 2 steals in 29 minutes. We've got 8, 9 veterans out there that have played some college basketball who need to have that kind of passion for the game. And the other night, I think Jalen led us in rebounding. 6-foot guard. So in my mind, we have a bright spot in Jalen Shedd, and we have some individual reflection on I think that the tough losses tonight mounted on us, and emotionally we became very soft and felt very sore, bad about, oh God, we might lose another game. Well, I'm not worried about losing the game. I'm worried about losing the individual battles from play to play. And I'm an arrogant coach that says I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm worried about how you play. And if you play with that passion and that focus, that diligence, then you're probably going to be right there, which we were tonight. So now it's starting to look at the score. And you fail in all things in life. You can compare yourself to who's got a better writing job than you. You're going to be miserable about, I want to work for the New York Times. You're going to compare yourself, and every one of our house, our car, everything else. It's not how to live, and it's a slippery slope. So I was very heated with our team. I only get heated a couple times a year, and this is as heated as I've been with the team, because the general feeling was a little bit of a pity party of that things didn't work out for us in the second half, and I just thought that energy carried over to everything.
Seemed like in the first half there you guys got a little bit of a lead and maybe a chance to separate on a couple possessions, and then Hawaii kind of closes that gap real quick because they're first place team in the conference. Can you talk a little bit about maybe that opportunity and what Hawaii does?
Well, it was almost a mirror to what they did against Santa Barbara. I watched the Santa Barbara game on tape on Friday, and Santa Barbara had some opportunities, and hats off to Hawaii. I'm certainly not taking anything away from them. They're the first place for a reason. I think the Jankovic kid, Stefan Jankovic, I think he's got a chance to play in the NBA. He's that good. I mean, you got a 6'10" kid hitting, dark 3-pointers, posting up. He's a great passer. He's super poised. I mean, his numbers have been like this all. 19, 9, 2 assists in 28 minutes. I mean, 0 turnovers. He's made some moves, some plays that we've seen on video that you go, oh my Lord. I mean, he may be the best, he may be the most skilled man we've played against in 7 years as a post player. I mean, Mamadou, I think, is the most game-altering player I've coached against in my life. But he in the Big West, I'm not counting against the UCLAs or USCs or St. Mary's, but in the Big West, I think he is the most skilled, efficient big man that we've gone against for a long time. Yeah. Including an Al Williams. Al Williams didn't have the ability to step out and hit a 27-foot three-pointer on balance and make it look very good.
Second game in a row, you guys didn't shoot a free throw in the first half, and in the whole first half they shot 3, and you guys. Do you like that kind of a flow, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes and no. I like it if the game is flowing up and down. I don't like it if we're getting into a half court and we're still unable to. If you're going back and forth and there's some flow to the game and it's not a free throw fest. I mean, the extremes from what we saw at the start of the year to where we are now, it's unbelievable. I mean, we saw 60 free throws being shot. You couldn't touch a guy, and to make those adjustments. Now we're trying to be aggressive and drive back at guys. It's work in progress. I mean, I would like to say I had some answers in February, understanding, the officiating, how to get to the line. Is it post plays? Is it drives? Pump fakes, leg kickouts, the other team, who knows what. I quite frankly, it's the most frustrating year I've had in 27 of just understanding what might be the next point of emphasis, what is going to be a call and what's not, from crew to crew, from emphasis points that they make to not making. And so I'm continuing to adjust on it, but you know what? You brought it up, and I'll answer. Yeah, we got the free throw line 13 times tonight, and it's not enough. Now we don't change defenses. We're not able to really, create any tempo to the game. We got to look at that.
Similar to this Irvine the other night too. I think they shot up more.
Coach, you feel like this group has a run left in them? I mean, you got a month left, and are the personalities in there? I think from our perspective, there's plenty of talent.
There's definitely enough talent, and there's definitely enough character. But character has to sometimes be outed. Character doesn't rise until sometimes it's challenged. I challenged the group today. We had a couple, major challenges over, the year that we went to the tournament, where I thought that we were going through some motions. I thought we were going through, cool cats with your cool jackets on, trying to make a cool play instead of the right play, just making the right play and making the right cut and the right screen and having that discipline. I trust our team impeccably with their character. They're not going to stab each other in the back. They're not going to quit on each other. They're not going to quit on the staff. They're not going to quit on the school. But 85-90% is not good enough in college basketball. You have to do it every time. You have to block off every time. You have to come and meet the pass every time. You have to make a little eye contact with that guy on the wing there every time. You have to come meet that pass and make sure that doesn't get. I mean, we gave up a couple break. I mean, it's just right when it felt like you're making a run, then it's a turnover here. They go down and get an uncontested layup or a breakdown. And one of the things that you get with a team that suffers body shots is you get internal bleeding and you can't see it. And I think that what we saw tonight with the team had some internal bleeding and made me sick, because I don't believe in that. You're not allowed to have that. Hawaii didn't say, oh wow, geez, you guys lost a couple close ones. It just doesn't exist in my vocabulary. There are no options but to fight. There's no options but to bounce back. There are no options but to question yourself and say, Coach Callero, what are you doing? You got to fight and get this thing out. Assistant coaches, what are you doing? Players, what are we doing? That has to be so ingrained into you that there's no other thought. And I think once you start going like this, I felt head hanging, and that's non-existent. That cannot be part of our vernacular. A Mustang is never conquered. Well, that means never conquered. You can't let that even become part of your vibe.
big at this point, it seems like.
How do you, I mean, obviously, what's involved in changing?
Well, as I mentioned to Tom Barquette, says, Joe, I've heard you, I can count in your hand one time, and 5 times in 7 years you've been that upset with it. And I said, I'll tell you, number one thing is I said, okay, guys, guess what? It's time that you all have to take inventory on what we want this to be, is that, a couple tough losses don't identify you. You know, we're talking young people, between age 18 and 22. You know, they get influenced by what they read on Twitter or what they heard in, Snapchat or somebody's story, and this is a growing up process. You know, these are the times that you maybe, look at taking the guys to a children's hospital or something. You know, it's like, are you kidding me? You know, we think we have it bad, be tough. We feel, sorry for ourselves. Have you seen a kid fighting with leukemia? I mean, that's where I feel like we've got to get a little more grip on this reality of, like, it just felt like there was a little, I don't know, maybe I saw a different game, but assistant coaches and I kind of felt like there were moments there where we just looked like we were down, and that just can't exist. Does that feel off record? Does that feel like, could you see it?
No, absolutely, it's that